Hello everyone. So let us talk about purpose of a SOC rule. SOC rules are primarily focused on the real-time monitoring, detection, analysis, and response to cybersecurity threats and incidents. They are organizations, frontline defense against cyber attacks, aiming to identify and mitigate the threats before they can cause any major damage. Now, if we talk about the responsibilities, the one of that is monitoring, that is continuously monitor the network and systems, which whatever the activities are happening on the system, like Windows, Linux, whatever you have, for malicious activities or policy violations. Then identifying and assessing potential security incidents or breaches, that is one of the tasks and roles and responsibilities. Then you have coordinating and executing actions to whatever threats are there, to take care of them, including informing the stakeholders, the C-suits, the leaders, business leaders, and guiding the response team as well. Also, they are tasked with investigating the incidents. So whatever the cause of it, what is the scope of it, what is the impact of it, so it will also include the forensic analysis to gather the evidence. Another task would be continuously updating the organization's security posture and response strategies based on lessons learned from the incidents and whatever the emerging threats and trends and threat intel they gather. Now, the roles that are there in SOC, they are SOC analyst, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Then you have incident responder. Then you have SOC manager. And in terms of skills and tools, basically the SOC analyst, they have a background of information security, computer science, and a related field. It's or and an or. Then they possess a mix of technical and soft skills. They possess analytical abilities, because if they find out a particular, say, a particular trend which is happening, a type of attack, they have to analyze it, and they have to use the tools in an appropriate way. They have to communicate it. So those are all skills which are there. Now let's talk about GRC roles. So the purpose of that role, GRC role, is basically it is centered towards governance, risk management, and compliance aspect of the cybersecurity. So they make sure that an organization uh, meets or basically adheres to the laws, regulations, policies. They manage the risk on the information assets and establish governance frameworks to support the organization's objectives and security postures. Now, there are many responsibilities they have, like, of course, GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. So, governance, the that is about developing and implementing the frameworks and whatever the policies are to align with the IT and security processes in a business. Then you have risk management, which includes identifying, evaluating, making the priority for the risks, and implementing the measures which are there for mitigating the risks. And then you have compliance, which is to ensure that the organization complies with external regulations, internal policies, whatever the processes, policies you have in your environment, including the audits and assessments, developing the training programs to ensure that employees um, understand and meet those security policies and regulations. Then creating reports for the stakeholders on the state of the organization's current risk. So whatever the risks are, what is the status, have the risk register, understand, make them understand the risk register. Then overall they possess analytical skills, attention to details, and they also understand the legal and regulatory language, basically. Now, different roles that appear in GRCs, like GRC analyst, risk manager, compliance officer, GRC manager, and so on. Now, SOC roles, they are technical, focused on dealing with immediate threats and incidents, as we discussed before. And GRC roles, they are more strategic. They focus on long-term risk management, compliance, governance structures. Uh, then again, talking about SOC operations are real time and reactive. GRC activities are more proactive activities. So you plan before that, right? So you plan for strategic planning and technical planning, all these things you do. It's for a longer period. SOC and GRC, they operate independently, but they need to communicate at all times. Say, for example, the SOC, they might implement an incident and response plan, but they are governed by the policies and established by the GRC team. Similarly, the GRC team relies on the insights from the SOC to inform about the risks and compliance efforts that needs to be there. So that's the difference and overlap between SOC and GRC.